Hi everybody, this is a brief instructional video on 4.05. So this is your first news article that you are writing. We've kind of been working up to this in the past 3 units. The last unit, in unit 3, you were choosing some different ideas and you were thinking about some different things that you could possibly write about, coming up with questions. So now we're kind of getting everything that we've learned into practice. So the first thing I want to emphasize about this 4.05 is that it does open up on Monday. So if you would like to get started on it, then you are more than welcome to do that. There's not a due date attached to it, but there will be here in a second. The due date that is attached to this assignment is going to be the following Friday, which is going to be the 11th of October. Okay, so you truly have 2 full weeks to work on this. I'm not technically assigning it to you until Friday, which is the 4th, but you definitely have the option to start working on it before the 4th because you may need time to set up and do all of your interviewing and things like that. So the first thing that I want to do is let's look at the assignment. So basically, what you're looking at is a simple news story. And I will tell you this, we will cover this assignment in live session on this Thursday because we're going to cover it in detail and you will absolutely have the opportunity to ask questions and things like that. So if you happen to not be in our live session this Thursday on the, I gotta look into it, on the 3rd, you will definitely want to watch that recording. So it's pretty important that you know exactly what's going on. This assignment, it originally was worth 100 points, but I moved it down to 50 because I thought 100 was a lot for this. Um, uh, and also we have some other assignments later on in the semester that are worth quite a bit of points as well. So pare down the points a little bit for you. So hopefully that will be helpful to some of you. So what you're going to do, and this is kind of what you did back in Unit 3, is you're going to choose an organization or an individual who has recently made news in your local community to write a simple news story about. And I'm going to go back and show you what a simple news story is here in a few. And again, I'm going to cover that on Thursday. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be sure that I approve your topic and you can ask me in live session if you want. You can send me an email. But the reason I want to make sure to approve it is because there are certain things that you may pick that are going to be really, really difficult for you to write about. There may just not be enough information. It might be hard for you to get information about those things. And I really want to make sure that you're on the right track. So me approving that is somewhat important. So if I don't approve it and you turn it in and it's way off base, then it's one of those things where you're going to have to completely rewrite it to get the points. So you want to kind of maybe start off at the right spot. So having me approve it does that for you. Okay, so you're going to gather and organize information, and you're going to write a draft and review and polish your work over the next several lessons. So, over the next 2 weeks, that's what you're doing. Your simple news story is due the final day of this unit, which we already said was on the 11th of October. Um, you are going to be sure to review the news story grading rubric, and the rubric is attached. So, the rubric I'm gonna have to come back over here. The rubric is attached into the classroom, but it's also throughout, so it's right here, but it's also throughout the lesson, so you can get it through the lesson or you can get it right here. But it is throughout the lesson. Sorry, now I gotta pull that back up. Okay, So make sure that you look at the rubric and we will discuss. I'm not going to discuss the rubric with you now, but I will discuss it on Thursday when we have live session. Um, and you're going to want to make sure that you look in the resources and you make sure that you have that available to you. Um, the important thing here that I'm going to be looking for, along with how well it's written and the types of questions you're asking, if they're open closed questions and those types of things, is that you need to make sure to have at least two human sources. So that means you need to talk to two people somehow. You need to interview two people. You need to discuss whatever with two people, whatever your topic is, with two different people. So you have to have two human sources, and you also have to have credible non-human sources. So if you remember when we were talking about non-human sources before, non-human sources were things like um, polls, graphs, statistics, data. It could be another news article written by someone else. It could be like a written interview. It could be things like that. So basically, non-human is you not talking or interviewing someone else. So you want to make sure that you have to have credible non-human research, and you need to make sure that you have at least two sources, all right? You can use, so if you've already started this, because I know some of you have, and some of you have already been developing questions, if you are in love with the topic that you chose back in Unit 3, you can use that. You can use that topic, you can use that article. It is absolutely fine. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Da-da-da. My recording thing went away and I want to make sure it's still recording. Okay, sorry about that. The whole recording thing went away, so I wanted to make sure it was still recording. So you obviously want to make sure that if you started working on this in Unit 3 and it's you got some good questions and you like your topic, go with it. Um, in the live session on Thursday, we'll go over some different things and ideas of like who to interview, who do I need to talk to, and things like that. So we'll cover all of that in that live session. Okay. So, and then the end part of this is just how to save it and all that good stuff. So, okay. So I'm going to go over to the news, give you examples. So I'm going to pause real quick. Okay. So as you click on to the first link in 4.05, remember the resources, when it said the resources, the rubric is here as well, right? So you have that rubric. There's also model news stories, which is where I wanted to take you guys. So if you look at these are examples of the types of stories that you're writing. Obviously, you are not copying these because these have already been written, but this gives you an idea of like simple news stories that you can kind of model whatever your topic is after. So I'm not going to read these to you, obviously, because you can come in and read these for yourself. But there's a few in here. And if you notice, there's there's some length difference, right? Like this one's a little longer. This one's not so long, right? Little short on the short side. So what you need to understand is that this does not have to be a book. This can be a little short news story, right? So, and if you notice, you have graphics, you have cool heading, you have all kinds of different things that they've done. I am all about you using your creativity, and if you want to add pictures, if you want to do like a picture with a little byline down here, whatever it is you would like to do, I'm 100% okay with that. Since it's your first one, if you just want to write, that's okay. You can just write. But if you want to set it up like a new news article, I'd love it. I absolutely would love it if you would do that. Okay. So that should get you started. I can't emphasize enough to you how important it is for you to come to live session this week and next week, especially if you are going to need help working on this assignment and you need some guidance. So, with that, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. And it should be exciting for some of you. I can't wait to read these. So, good luck, and I will see you guys on Thursday.